Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we will be going through the concept of adding tables to our VB environment, basically the form. So as you can see on my screen here, I have a label of index number, class score, name, exam score, and then the text fields assigned appropriately to each label. So what is going to happen here is that we also have a button here. So the moment you tap on this button, it will automatically take the values of this text field and also generate other values as well, such as the ID, the total score, your grade points, and then your GPA. So without much I say, let's go and view how we are going to do this. So I've already written this code, but then I'll take you through and explain how the whole code works. So first of all, before you create this table, you must first initialize our table. So in the process of initializing our table, we have assigned the table a value. So we are saying that dim table as a new data table in my table. So this string you are seeing here is the name of our table. This makes it easier for us to access our table anytime you want to use it, and it also help us to create multiple tables. So basically this one references our table. Now this is the grade function. So the grade function basically takes in our total score, which is the score of the exams and your class score, and then combines them and then defines whether you've attained an A, B plus, B minus, C, D, or F. So that's how it happens. And then here is also get GPA function. This function is private because it is located outside the parent class. So this GPA, grade points or GPA function, what it does is that it will take your grade and then assign to it the appropriate GPA. Now on the normal, the GPA is supposed to be calculated based on your cumulated weighted average and your total grade points, but in this case, since it's a simple system and then we don't have a standard or a defined cumulated weighted average and the total grade points, we are using the grade to assign the GPAs. All right, so this is it. So the moment you get an A, it assigns 4.0 GPA, A minus 3.7, and it continues like that to F. When you get an F, then it will assign to you a 0.0 GPA. Now in our form load, this basically means that when the form loads, it should display what? The table. Now we are taking this table. I told you that this table references the table that we have created from the global variable table. So then it will assign to the table all these columns. Now all these columns are having values. Some have the text field in the form, but then still we have to define some here. So in order for us not to use these values as raw, we define our variable. So I have defined my counter as an integer, but what you must note is that the counter should be an auto increment value. Auto increment value in the sense that anytime a new value is being added, automatically it will increment its value upon the next value entered. So that's why from here I've defined my counter as a table dot rows dot count plus 1. So basically it's going to go to our table. It will count the number of rows and then assign a plus 1 value to it. Then from here, this is our grade. Since we've defined our function, what we are going to do is that we will define a new variable which is called grade and assign it to the get grade function. So basically the moment it takes this, it will get our grade value for us. Then this is also the add values to table. So after getting all that you have defined here, then it will add the values to the table. So let's run this code and see whether it's working as we expect it to work. So as you can see, our table has appeared, but then the table is empty. Let's put in the values and see whether it works. So the index number, let's put in something here. The class score, let's make it 39. Exam score, let's make it 47. And the name, of course, my name, Elikem. Okay, so let's click on add. So as you can see, what happens in the background is that all the calculations is being done, and then our table is being updated. So as you can see, the total score is 89, the grade is B plus, and our GPA is 3.4. This is for this particular student, Elikem. And then let's click, let's do the same for other values too, and you can see that it will auto increment the ID and then assign to it other values. So you see it has auto incremented. I think it has shown again.